So basically, I am just here to try and convince you guys to get a drone. If you have not tried one out, you need to try one. So I think this would be great for those of you that have a large following on TikTok, have a YouTube channel or something in that nature, a vlog, whatever you may be interested in. I think this would be great for getting content. Your outdoor needs, like my buddy Clayton, he actually got one for his little hunting channel. He uses it to get amazing shots of himself while he's practicing with his bow. He'll have the drone sitting there hovering above him, and he can pull back on his bow and have everything recorded and not have to worry about touching anything. There's a lot of cool settings on this thing that'll automatically let it hover around you or just fly straight up while recording you, so you don't constantly have to be finding someone to hold the camera for you, putting it on a stand, or reshooting stuff like that. So that's already just one thing that I love about this drone. Not only that, but it is in an SD card, so you can actually take the footage out straight from the drone and put it into your phone. I have a Galaxy S20 Plus, so I can take that SD card out of the drone, put it straight in my phone, and I have amazing crisp footage. And this thing shoots in 4K at 60 FPS, so the 60 frames per second helps a lot with your slow motion and stuff like that. I do a lot of slow motion on my channel and stuff like that when I edit videos or I go to truck shows and whatnot, so that 60 frames per second helps quite a bit. I shoot in 1080p about 99% of the time because I upload everything to TikTok and YouTube, and although you can upload 4K on YouTube, the program that I'm using on my phone saves in 4K, but it doesn't let me edit it while in 4K. So 1080p looks great. It's still good quality at 60 frames per second, and that's also what TikTok lets you use, up to 1080p, at least for what I can think of Androids. I think I've heard some iPhones and whatnot allows that as well. But I'm going to get into some of these little features and everything and show you guys exactly what you're missing out on. Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to let you guys know these run about $1,000. Brand new off Amazon, and that's with the Fly More package. It'll come with 3 batteries, some propellers, and a few other things, but definitely worth it for that, because although the flight time is about 32 minutes, if you keep it on sport mode, which I'll go into that a little bit further, it'll drain your battery a lot faster rather than in the slower modes where you can actually get that full 30 minutes or so. So you can go anywhere from 15 minutes of flight time to 30, but if you get that Fly More package with the 3 batteries, even if you're flying it like crazy, you're still going to get 45 minutes total with those 3 batteries. And if you're flying it nice and slow and you're not flying around like crazy, you'll usually get about 25 to 30 minutes. So 25 minutes times 3, that's 75 minutes of flight time, an hour 15. So that's plenty time, although it doesn't sound like a lot, to get as much footage as you need. And so this is what I was talking about whenever the drone will literally hover by itself. You move it up and down and it'll just stay right there wherever you had it. Whenever the battery gets low, it'll actually fly back to the home point. And the home point is wherever you first take off. It'll update it, and before it dies, it'll actually give you a warning, tell you, hey, the battery's low, I'm about to come back. So you can either cancel it, fly it back on your own, or you can let it take its own course and come back. So the super cool thing about this is if you're recording by yourself, you can go ahead and click this, go to quick shot, and you will have automated settings in it that'll let the drone do its own job. So this one, we're going to start off with just a rocket. You can set the distance on it, and you'll draw a little square across your screen. Oopsie. And see, now it has me detected. So it can detect people and vehicles. You press start. And from there, doing its own thing in that flight mode. And then once it gets to its stopping point, it'll get to the top and fly straight back down. And there's multiple other settings. Like I said, there's circle. Obviously, flies a little circle around you. You got helix. You got boomerang, where it'll fly out, get really far away and fly all the way back in. Asteroid, where it just finds you in the middle and just circles around you like an asteroid. There's just endless possibilities with this type of equipment. So the cool thing about this is, even though I hold back, that scared me. Even though I hold back the fly button, it's not going to let it move. But as soon as I get out of the way, so that's one of the different settings that this control itself it has. It has the cinema. Well, I'm assuming it's cinema, cine, whatever. Cinema mode, which is what I call it. And then you got the normal mode and sport. So the sport mode shuts off all the settings and it lets you fly up to the 43 miles an hour, but you have no sensors stopping you. So if you're going 40 miles an hour and you smack a tree, you're probably gonna break your deal. Normal shuts off some of the sensors or whatever. It's still kind of safe to fly. And then there's the cinema mode, so it's slow, medium, and fast. So the cinema is a slow mode, which has all its sensors, the gimbal and everything. When it flies, it's very smooth. And this is what I use for a lot of my little roller shots and everything I've been practicing on. So this is the slow mode I was talking about. You can kind of see it moves nice and slow, and the 3-axis gimbal on it stays nice and steady. We'll move to normal, speeds up a little bit, stays nice and smooth, and then you go to sport, and this thing's just super fast. And which that gimbal is still pretty quick at adjusting itself, so you're not going to see a lot of play on the camera. But like I said, I definitely would not recommend flying it on sport mode without getting a really good feel about it, because this can get very confusing. I actually thought I was getting comfortable with it 3 days into flying it, and I think a car almost hit me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost had a car hit me because I was just like, well, this one's left, which one's, and you just have a huge brain fart. So I've been flying it for about a week, and I'm starting to slowly get comfortable where I can fly this on sport mode more or less okay, but for the most part I still keep it on that slow. So this is what I was talking about right here. Whenever the battery's getting low, you can either confirm or cancel, and it'll actually fly back to its home point. One thing I didn't talk about is obviously this does not have sound, because the propellers on this thing are so loud the buzzing would pretty much just blur out any talking or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. If you're recording, you're gonna not have any sound on this. If you're still looking for that cinematic footage, you know, without the fancy bells and whistles of the Mavic Air 2, then you can start with the Mini, and you can even look on Marketplace, find them for about $350. They still shoot in 4K, and they still have the little gimbal attached to them. You can actually still get really nice cinematic shots if you're still not sure if you want to jump to something this big. And there's tons of other YouTube videos out there that go more in depth on the things that this drone can do. I wasn't trying to get super crazy into it because obviously I still haven't unlocked its full potential and figured out every single one of its settings, only owning it for a little over a week. If you want to know more about it, I definitely check out YouTube. There's more informational videos on this. I just myself kind of wanted to show you, me personally, my shots of what I can do with it and how much I enjoyed it. I'm just super excited about this. We're going to be taking it to LTN, a lot of big shows. I think it'll be cool for our YouTube channel. So let's get to it. I'm just going to show you some of my shots that I've got so far, and I hope you enjoy.